When it comes to investing in a 401k or parking your money in a high-yield savings account at 4% APR, we're talking about two very different beasts with distinct temperaments: risk versus stability. A 401k, especially if it's invested in the stock market, is typically a long-term play. Historically, the S&P 500 has given us average returns of around 10% per year, before inflation. Of course, that number has its ups and downs. You're riding the Wall Street roller coaster. Meanwhile, a high-yield savings account gives you a calm carousel ride. A 4% APR is exceptionally good for a savings account, but it also means you're not going to see much growth beyond that. It's predictable and secure, and you won't need antacids when the market dips. Tax benefits. One of the sexy things about a 401k is its tax advantage. You're basically telling Uncle Sam, "Back off, I'm saving for the gray hair days." You don't pay taxes on the money you stash away until you retire, ideally when you're in a lower tax bracket. This can significantly reduce your taxable income. A savings account, on the other hand, is just your regular money hanging out and getting a slight sunburn from the interest, which, by the way, you'll pay taxes on annually. Matching contributions. If you've got an employer who's adding a match to your 401k, that's like going to a Portland food truck festival and having someone hand you extra tacos for every taco you buy. You definitely want to take full advantage of that. Accessibility. Now, what if life throws you a curveball and you need to get your hands on that cash? Here's where things diverge. Your 401k is not a piggy bank. It's more like a vault. Cracking it open before retirement usually comes with penalties and taxes. A savings account, however, is as cozy and accessible as your favorite Portland coffee shop. Inflation consideration. Remember that inflation is like the rain here in Portland. It's always a factor. If inflation runs at 3% and your savings account is churning at 4%, you're only gaining a net 1% in purchasing power. On the flip side, if your 401k is invested well, it could outpace inflation and then some. Combination strategy. So, what's the best move? Consider a combo strategy. Take advantage of your 401k up to the employer match to get those free tacos, dollars. Then, if you have money left to save, stash some in your high-yield savings account for short-term goals or an emergency fund. Once you have that rainy day fund set aside, and in Portland, we know all about rainy days, think about putting extra savings back into your 401k for those tax benefits and long-term growth. You don't need to choose just one path. In the financial forest, it's okay to walk down a couple of different trails, as long as you've got a solid map and a good pair of boots.